everyone, it's Rayvon from Love Lola. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am just so happy to have you here with me. Make sure that you take a moment to look down below in the description box because that's where you're going to find a link to where you can purchase the pattern. I'm going to have links to where I purchase my materials, my vinyls, my zippers, my hardware. If I'm using it, you're going to have a link to where you can find it. Today, we're going to be making Today, I'm not going to be, this is going to be the first time, I'm not going to interface my pieces just because I feel like, you know, this is a little fanny pack. We don't really need it to be that stiff. So I'm using vinyl and I'm not going to interface it. I hope I don't regret it. Oh, I don't know. Okay, anyway, so we've got all of our pieces. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this cream color or this tan, so I've got them both just in case. But we've got our zipper panels. We've got this little piece that goes over that front pocket. We have this zipper and another zipper tape as well. We've got our zipper tabs. We've also got our side pieces, and you do need to cut 2 of each and 1 mirrored. So we have 4 of these total. We've got our bottom gusset, our back piece, and our, oh, that's a little bitty zipper pocket, isn't it? Okay, okay, and then we have our lining. I went ahead and decided I am going to be using vinyl for my lining because of the fact that I'm not interfacing my exterior. I want to use vinyl just to give my bag a little bit of like oomph. I want it to have a little bit of structure to it, so that's what I'll be using for my lining. For my slot card part, I am using waterproof canvas. Okay, this is a thinner one. This one doesn't have that backing. Yeah, so that's about it. Let's get started. Okay, so after much prayer and meditation, I'm just kidding, but no. Sometimes I feel like that when I'm getting my, choosing between fabrics or what I'm doing. I get so overwhelmed that I'm like, Ray, relax, calm down. You're making a damn bag. It's not that serious. Like, geez Louise. Pick a color, girl, any color. Anyway, so I'm gonna use this color because I said so. And I decided to go ahead and put some SF101 along the back of this just because the fabric that I'm using today is a really soft, like kind of buttery feel to it. So I wanted to have just a little bit of oomph to hold up and not collapse in that middle part. So I just used SF101. And then on my bottom gusset piece, I went ahead and did So Fuse Plus because of the fact that I'm not really stabilizing this bag. I know I hate when I have little bags and I go to open it or do anything with it and it just smushes because it's just, you know, no stabilizing. So I wanted to at least stabilize the gusset so that when the person is reaching inside of the bag, you know, to get something, it's gonna have a little bit of a to it. It won't just be like, Meh. I hope that these sounds are translating the words that I obviously cannot form. Whatever, man, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is our card slot. Now, what I did was I just went ahead and marked on here. I put my piece right next to it, and then I used a pin to mark everywhere that she had, that there's gonna be a fold. and then I moved it over and did the same thing and made those marks. Now let's see if we fold up or down first. She said mark one with a T for the top. So this is going to be my top. I hope that's right. I hope that doesn't show. So it should be, the first one should be 2 7/8. So let me make sure that I'm starting on the right, on the correct side. Okay, so I think we fold the fabric right side together on the first one. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hope this is correct for your sake and mine. Let me get my stained little mat. I'm just gonna press that. If you're using waterproof canvas, make sure that you don't press on the side that has that that backing on it, or it will melt. Okay, so that's the first line. And then here's the second line. And when you do these folds, try your best to make sure that your sides stay lined up. Don't let them start twisting, because then you're going to get a wonky card slot. So the first fold should be, you should be folding right sides together. The second fold should be wrong sides together. And then we're going to keep alternating. Okay, so I am going to pin the sides really quick, just so I can keep everything from shifting. Okay, so I went ahead and top stitched the top of each card slot, and then I went back and basted the sides, just because I feel like it's easier to work with when it's done. So let's grab our two side pieces, and they should, here we go. They should be the same height as what we just did. If they're not exactly, I feel like mine is off by like 1/8 of an inch. Probably because my material kind of shrunk when I did all that sewing. But if it's off a little bit, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's keep it moving. All you need to do is center it. So, you know, if it's off, let's say this one is a little bit shorter than this piece, I'm going to just center it, because it's going to get caught in the seam allowance anyway. It's no big deal. All right, now let's go ahead and get that attached. So we want the card slot we just did to be right side facing up, and then we're going to lay our little side pieces right side facing down, right on top. I'm going to get both of them pinned on and head over to my machine, and we're going to get those added at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, psych, that wasn't correct. I just ripped that apart. The curved part actually goes towards the top. Okay, don't do what I did. That was wrong. Don't do that. The curved part goes at the top. So I've just I just ripped my seams out. I'm going to get my thread pulled out and get it back attached. So the card slot is facing up. The slots are at the top. The curves go at the top. And then place them right sides together and get them connected. Okay, so grab your 12-inch zipper if you're making a large. Grab the zipper that you need to grab for whatever you're making. I'm making a large, so this is my 12-inch zipper. I've already done this side just because I wanted to make sure I was doing it correctly before I recorded it. So now we're going to do the other side. Take your lining piece, and I am using vinyl for my lining, but for this zipper tab, I decided to use waterproof canvas because I don't want the seams to be thick right here. So I'm using waterproof canvas. I got it right side facing up. I'm placing my zipper on it, also right side facing up. And then I'm taking my exterior piece of the zipper tab, and I am placing it right side facing down. I'm trying to see what part of the flower I want to show. This one. All right, so right side facing down. And then we're going to go and attach all of this at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So right now, all we're doing is sewing across here at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. That's it. Okay, once we've got that attached, we are going to fold it back like so. And then we're going to go and top stitch, where we're going to be basting the side, top stitch across there, and then baste the other side. So 3 sides. My needle just got me. I was raising my foot. You know, it was an industrial machine. You can use your knee to raise the foot. And I was just rushing, and I raised my foot, and my finger was moving over the foot. And so it pushed my finger up into the needle. my thumb was stuck between the needle and the dang foot. Yeah, so it got me pretty good. Okay, so now go ahead and grab your, what is this? The zipper, the front zipper pocket C lining. It's the one that's shaped just like the front of the pocket. Okay, we want that to be right side facing up. And I think I told you earlier to mark the middle of your zipper. If I didn't, I'm sorry, you should have. I marked mine, but it doesn't look like the center. Jeez. You know what? Let's call something off, okay? So our lining is right side facing up. That's better. And our zipper is also right side facing up. We're going to match up the center. And clip it. So let's go ahead and snip our zipper along the curve. So from here to about right here, I'm just guesstimating. I'm going to add some snips, very small, because I do not want them to show, obviously. I'm going to repeat that to the other side. And one thing that I like to do whenever I'm dealing with curves, attaching something to something else, is I like to use double-sided tape just on the corners. So I'm going to apply double-sided tape just along that corner. And what that does is that just stops it from shifting. Put it on there and squeeze it, the material on it, the zipper or whatever you're using, really tight, and it stops it from moving around. Just on the corner. Try it. I bet you're gonna love it. Okay. Another thing I will do is I will use a hot glue gun. Okay, ain't no shame in my game. If I need it to stick, I need it to stick. Some of y'all try to get too uppity about stuff. Just do it. There's a bunch of different ways to get the same result. Do what works for you. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. I thought I had hit record, but I guess I hadn't. So now, if you like your bag to open to the right and close to the left, then right now your zipper should be doing the opposite. You want it to where your zipper is closing to the right and opening to the left, because we're going to wind up putting this on top and flipping it, and so it's going to be reverse. So take that into consideration. If you're doing 2 zipper pulls, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so what you want to do is line up the midpoint on your zipper and on that lining piece. And then what I did was, because we're dealing with a curve, that can get kind of tricky. What I like to do is use double-sided tape. I have this thin 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape, and I apply it just on my corners. And when I do that, it just helps everything to kind of stay where you want it to stay. Try it. I promise you, it's going to change your life. So that's what I did to my zipper. And then once I did that, I went ahead and got the zipper attached to to that panel. You kind of have to finagle it on the edges a little bit where it's curved, but you can do it. So that's what I did to the lining. And then I just went ahead and clipped it along the top and the sides, but it's attached. Also, another option is, I think some people staple their stuff. I don't do that because I just don't like taking staples out. I ain't got time for all that. But you also can use a hot gun just on the very edges in that seam allowance to hold everything together. That's something else that I like to do when I'm dealing with stuff like this. But this tape is going to be great. I'm going to go and add a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance around this whole thing. Okay, y'all. It's about to get real. I'm just kidding. We want our lining piece to be right side facing up, and our exterior piece is going to be right side facing down. We're basically going to just line everything up, and then we're going to go and sew it at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So I'm starting at the middle. And I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to add it a little bit smaller than 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, just because I don't like too much of my zipper to show. It kind of gets on my nerves. I feel like it starts doing wonky stuff when too much of it is showing. So probably do a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it behaves. We shall see. I'm going to clip my corners just a tad bit. The lining and the zipper that's together. Just a little bit, because I feel like it's going to give me problems if I don't. I guess I'm clipping it all because it's already attached and I don't feel like taking it apart. All right. There we go. Line up those edges. I have not used my glue gun, but I have it on just in case I need it, because I just don't have time tonight, honey. see. Okay, zipper. Act right now. Don't give me no problems. I don't want any problem from you. So make sure when you do those corners, what's going to help a lot is, and yeah, it's going to take time, but pivot your foot. So don't just sew over the corners really fast. Do one stitch, raise your foot and pivot. Do one stitch, raise your foot and pivot. Do that slowly around those curves. Okay, I went ahead and added some metal clamps on the corner to hold the zipper because it's trying to shift, and these do a better job of keeping everything where they need to be. All right, and we're gonna be sewing this at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I may go a little bit bigger than that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim down my seam allowance just a little bit. If you have anything hanging off the bottom, go ahead and get that trimmed off. Okay, let's turn this right side out and pray for the best. Oh gosh. Oh God. Oh. Yeah, that was the right response. I caught my zipper. I thought I felt something weird going on, but I wasn't sure. Right there. See that? Right there. Dang it, boy. I felt that when it happened too. I'm going to cut this thread right here and see what happens because my God, this vinyl can't be. Oh God, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Right there. Right there. How did that happen? Okay, and so we're gonna go and top stitch along this exterior material along the whole zipper. It may help if you kind of like bloop, do it like that to help you be able to flatten it out and get that top stitch. So take your time along the curve. We want a nice pretty top stitch, 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once we've got that done, we're going to grab that card slot that we did earlier. I went ahead and added my double-sided tape along my curves. I have it right side facing up. The piece that we just did is also right side facing up. We should have our midpoints marked. And we're going to match our zipper up with that. Just like we did before. All right, now we're gonna go and baste this together at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. If you want, you can unzip it. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. Oh, look how cute. Peek-a-boop, peek-a-boop, boop. Y'all, I am so sorry. My camera is acting up. It stops recording by itself for some reason. I don't know what's going on. It stops recording. And the only reason I just realize it is sometimes I'll look up and the light won't be on anymore. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, it didn't record this entire part that I did. So I'm going to try to explain it to you as best as possible. So we just finished getting this front piece added to our card slot. Remember, we did that at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So what you want to do is grab that piece that we just added to the card slot. I'm going to use this as an example just to show you what's going on. And we want it to be right side facing up. Then you're going to grab that piece that looks like this, and you want it to be wrong side facing up, and you want to also rotate it so that it's upside down. Go ahead and mark the mid pieces, the midpoints of this, and then go ahead and snip. All right, and once you have the midpoints matched up, you're going to pin it. And then take it and pin the corners. You're lining up the edges. Okay, and once you have that clipped, then you're going to just go and ease everything into place, pinning around the entire perimeter. Once you have that done, you're going to just take it and you're going to fold that material, that little weird piece that we just did, away from the zipper, and then you're going to go and add a top stitch at 1/8 of an inch around the entire thing. Okay, now once you have that connected, you're going to notice that your pocket, if you look from the bottom, is going to kind of bunch out like that. What you want to do is find your midpoint, and then you want to push out in both directions to get it flat. Once you have it flat, pin it, and then go over to your machine and baste that down. Once you get that done, go ahead and grab a lining piece, and then you want to place this whole thing that you've assembled with your lining piece, wrong sides facing each other, and get it basted together. All right, find your back panel piece and find the center point, mark it, measure down 3/4 of an inch, and lay your zipper panel on top of that. You can use double-sided tape. And now we're going to go and baste around the outside of it, all the way around. You can leave your string long if you want to pull through the back if you don't want to see the back stitching on top. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting my zipper attached. I'm not gonna do it for the sake of time, but I will put a link below on my video where I show how to do a zipper pocket this way. All right, once you have your zipper pocket finished, you want to grab one of your lining pieces, and I should have marked the center. See, that's right. Nope. Okay, and you want to place them right sides touching each other. Match up those midpoints, and then go and baste them together at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right. Let's get our strap made. I'm going to be using webbing because it's easier and I like to use webbing on fanny packs. All right, I do carry this in my shop. So if you like, you know, a nice thick, if you're looking for a nice thick webbing, this stuff is fantastic. I love it. You can see it's pretty sturdy. The hardware isn't going to be slipping and sliding on it. Okay, let's do this. For our strap connector, she said to cut that 2 inches long. If you're not using webbing, just make your connector an inch. And then we're going to get our swivel hook attached really fast. Actually, I'm going to attach my adjuster first. It makes more sense. So we're just going to slide it up and over. I will say for webbing, I prefer to sew it together as opposed to rivets, because sometimes rivets will eventually like wear itself through the webbing, you know. So I'm gonna head over to the machine and get this attached, and I'll be right back. I'm also going to, the connector piece that we cut, the 2 inches, we wanna run that through our strap connector. I'm gonna go ahead and baste, run that through our D-ring. I'm gonna go ahead and baste that while I'm over there. All right, onto the hook. So we've got this attached. We want it to be wrong side facing up. Run your hand to the end. And just run your hook through it. Fold it back over. Make sure that your strap does not bend or twist. Run it up. And back down. There we go. I did burn the ends of my webbing in case I didn't mention that, just to help it not to fray too much. I need to make sure this is small enough for my sister. She's tiny. I'm trying to think. First piece is right side facing up. Your strap is also right side facing up, so you should be looking at the top of your slider, the correct side of your slider. And then that second piece right side facing down. Go ahead and get them clamped together, and then do a top stitch at 3/8 of an inch along the short edge. Okay, I was just kidding. We actually are supposed to sew around the entire thing at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and trim it down just a little bit on the sides. And a little bit in the corners, because we don't want our corners to be too thick. But I don't want to cut my webbing down, you know? Okay, and pull it through. Once we have them pulled through, we're going to go and do a top stitch on both, along the side, across the part where the strap is coming out, and along the other side, okay? Grab your back panel piece, measure down 1 3/4 of an inch, and that's where you want to place your pieces. There we go. Pin them and go ahead and baste them on at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so I'm not sure if I did something. Okay, so I'm not sure if I did something wrong or not, but the way that it is right now, if I put my strap like this, my slider is going to wind up being on the inside, and that can't be, that doesn't work. So, and I don't want it to be on the left side, because I want it on the right side. So I'm going to just flip this like that, so that way the adjuster will be on the outside. I don't know how that happened. So just make note of that. You can look at it yourself just by, because this is the back of the bag, so you can just, this would be the back. Lift it up and see what side your slider is on, and just make sure that your slider is going to be on the outside, not the inside. Okay, now I'm gonna go and get this attached. We're gonna measure down 1 3/4 of an inch. And that's where the top is going to go. And we're gonna go and get that attached at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once you have that done, basted, you can set that to the side. Grab your gusset zipper piece and also your gusset panel pieces, the zipper panels. You wanna take your exterior piece and place it right side facing up. Take your zipper and place it right side facing down. And your lining, place it right side facing down. Make sure everything is lined up evenly. Once you've got everything lined up, go ahead and clamp it to get it attached, and then head over to the machine, and we're going to sew that together at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Once you've got that attached, you're going to give it a finger press. Your lining and your exterior should be wrong sides touching. We're going to head over to the machine and top stitch along our top stitch on top of our exterior right along our zipper. Once you get that done, you're going to repeat the same thing to the other side. You're going to lay your exterior fabric right side up. You're going to place your zipper right side down, and then you're going to take your lining and place it right side down, attach it at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, flip it over, and do the top stitch just like we're about to do right now. My camera's acting weird, so I'm kind of going over a few steps at a time because it's stopping without me knowing it, so I just want to make sure I cover the basics. Okay, once we've got that done, go ahead and grab your gusset lining. You want to place it right side facing up. Take that zipper panel that we just finished and place it also right side facing up. And then grab your exterior gusset piece, and we're going to place it right on top, right side facing down. Line up your edges and go ahead and get that clip together. And then we're going to go and attach that at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now we're going to open it up so that our gusset lining and our gusset exterior are right sides touching. Finger press it and then go and add a top stitch right there at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now we're going to repeat the same thing to the other side. We're going to get our lining. We want our lining to be right side facing up. Our zipper panel also right side facing up, match up those edges. And then our exterior gusset right side facing down. Get everything clamped together and go get it attached at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, as you can see, once I did that, I went ahead and top stitched along the other side just like before. Then you need to match up the midpoints. Match up the seams from your gusset so that you can then pull it out and find your midpoints on your zipper panel and also the midpoint on your gusset. Go ahead and get those marked. We're getting ready to put this baby together. Now, you can see I already added my tape because, like I said, I just think it really helps me when I'm dealing with curves. So I've got that on. Now, I like to open my zipper to the right. So we want to make sure, and that's how I did my front pocket. I want to make sure that my zippers match. I like to open this way, close this way. Okay, great. So I have my panel where it's opening to the right, closing to the left. Actually, let's flip it inside out. There we go. Turn over. Okay, so it's still opening to the right and closing to the left, but it's just inside out. Now we want right sides touching. There we go. So right side, the exterior of my zipper panel is touching the exterior of this piece. Match up those midpoints. On the top and also on the bottom. And then we're going to just ease everything into place. Now I am going to go ahead and add some clips along my gusset in the corners, just because it just always makes the life a little bit easier. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get it clamped all the way around and go and get it attached at, I think she said 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Yes. And when I sew it, I'm going to have my gusset facing up. I just feel like it makes it a little bit easier. All right, once you've got it attached, go ahead and flip it out really quick and make sure that you don't have any seams or anything showing, you know? All right, once you check it out, everything's good. I was thinking about adding a top stitch along here. I don't know though, what do you think? You think I should add a top stitch? It just gives it a little bit more structure, you know? Nope, I'm gonna leave it. I ain't got time. Not today. It's fine. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing for the back piece. Grab your back piece. If you need to ball it up or something to help it kind of stay where it needs to, you can do that. And a clip. Okay, and find the top. Go. Match up the midpoints. Match up the bottom midpoints. And then go ahead and get it clamped all the way around and get it attached at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so I went ahead and got my second panel attached and we're done, y'all. This is a pretty easy sew. Now, if you need to trim this down to 1/4 of an inch, go ahead and do that. Oh, I guess I should have opened my zipper. Open your zipper before you do it. Have a peek inside again to make sure that you don't have any of your seams showing around the edge. Mine looks pretty good. I don't see no issues. Okay. And let me tell you this. If you came here for a binding video, I'm going to say what I always say. This ain't it. I don't like binding. I don't care for it, and I don't care enough to perfect it because it's the inside of the bag. Who cares? To be honest, if I'm making a bag for myself that requires binding, I don't even bind it. I leave it raw because I couldn't care less if you gave me money to. So with that being said, this bag is for my sister, so I probably will bind it. But maybe not. But if I do, I'm just gonna use this polyester bias tape. Polyester, I said that real country, huh? It's a polyester binding. I got it. It's a double fold bias tape I got from Amazon. It's 1/2 of an inch. This is 55 yards. I think I paid like $15 for it. I don't know. And I'm just going to place it over it like that, all the way around, and attach it. That's it. It ain't that serious. When I get to the end, what I will do is just open it up and fold it like that so no raw edges are showing and go back over. Another thing that I do sometimes with bias, again, if I care enough to do it, if I really don't want any problems, I will use either double-sided tape or I will use a hot gun in the corners before I put my bias tape, just to make sure that it doesn't shift on me. Now, if your needle can't handle it, I don't know, whatever. I don't have problems when I do that. But those are just some easy, lazy options for it. Once you get your bias tape on, then you're done. Let's flip it out and have a look at it. Oh, I hope I didn't miss any seams. No, Rayvon. No, no, no. Y'all, I added my back panel upside down. Who am I? Who am I? Why would I do that? Who are you? Oh my gosh, I'm such a loser. It's upside down, y'all. What even is this life? Y'all pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Okay. I'm okay. I've regained my composure. I went ahead and ripped that apart and turned it the correct way and got it connected. And now I'm gonna check it out. All is well. My friend Alita always says that. All is well. That's what I kept telling myself when this happened. To calm myself down. All is well. Ooh-wee. She cute. Yes, honey, this is cute. All right, go ahead and push those seams out. Oh, I like this. Oh, I don't want to give it to my sister. Oh, I would be a horrible person if I kept it. Oh my gosh. This is cute. Yes, honey. Very nice. I like this a lot. I would totally wear this. I love fanny packs. Oh my goodness, this is cute. I'm glad that I added that interfacing to the bottom gusset, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't like the way it feels. But with that bottom gusset having that stabilizer, I like it. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, I'm gonna go and get some pictures taken. All right, picture time. How pretty is this? I freaking love it. This vinyl is gorgeous. I love my insects. If you like insects, insect bling like I do, you can find it on my website. These little flower zippers are also on my website if you like stuff like that. Yeah, so thanks for sewing with me today, and I'm gonna get some pictures done. Bye. I had to add my side connectors upside down. I had to add my side connectors upside down because I did it backwards. So that's why it looks like this, in case you're wondering. I did it backwards. Oh, let me go over that. Okay, so remember when I told you when you place this connector piece down, right side up, and then you placed your strap piece on top of it, and I told you to have your slider right side facing up. Actually, you want your slider to be wrong side facing up. Or right side facing down, however you want to word it. That's how you want it to be when you attach it. The other side, the connector, it doesn't matter because it just doesn't matter. And then that way, once you get that basted and flip it out, you will turn it over to baste it to the bag, and at that point, that will make your slider be right side facing up, okay? So just a quick little edit. If you're a lefty, do it the way I did it in the video. If you are right-handed, then make your slider be right side facing down when you add it to the connector. All right, that's it. All right, y'all, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. If you make this bag, I want to see it. Do you understand? I want to see it. So tag me. You can find me on all of the social media platforms. On Instagram, I am at Love Lola Looks. On Facebook, you can find me under my Baddie Baggies group. You can find me on YouTube. Wait, you already found me on YouTube. Yeah. Well, just in case, I'm going to add it. On YouTube, my handle is at Love Lola Looks. I'm on TikTok. I believe my TikTok handle is also at Love Lola Looks. And I think that's it. And I'll also go ahead and add all of that stuff in my, I'll add a link to all of that stuff in the video description box as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.